Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine, and today I've got another great workout you can do from your home. We're going to start off with some push-ups, so just body weight. If you want to grab a bench or a mat to do them on the floor. The other equipment we're going to need is just one dumbbell, probably a little bit on the lighter side, and a medicine ball, or I'm sorry, a fitness ball, and a band. This one is a little bit longer, so if you do have a little bit longer and maybe a little bit stronger, if not, no big deal. I'll give you some ideas on how you can change it up if you don't have the exact thing that you want. Okay, besides that, we're just going to do body weight, so remember to warm up before you come into this. I've got my trusty doggies with me again today. It's nap time again, so remember to come into this with a good warm up and ready to move. Okay, so we're going to start with some push-ups. So the past few times we've done them, I've showed you how to do them up on a bench, and that gives you a way to do them in a really good form with a little less intensity because the floor can be really hard. You are also welcome to do them on your knees on the floor. So I'm going to do them on the floor today. We're going to do 10. Do them in the capacity that you can. So I know that push-ups are very hard. One of the keys is to have your hands directly beneath your shoulders, and then when you're pressing up, think about using those abs to help pull you up. So don't just think, oh, my arms are so tired. Think about pulling those abs up every time you do a push-up and really utilizing your core, because this is also a core exercise. All right, so remember, if you need to do them on your knees, you still want a nice flat line from your knees to your shoulders, and then don't let your shoulders come up around your ears. One more thing, don't dip your head. So if you feel like you're doing this, that can be really hard on your neck, and also it kind of is a little bit less range of motion. So really focus on pushing up, pushing away from the floor. We're using those abs to pull you up. All right, let's do 10. Remember, you can do them from your knees if you need to. 1, 2, think about lowering yourself as a flat plank. 6, keep breathing. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, push-ups. Like I said, I know they're very hard. Do them on the bench. You can do them on the floor. You can do them on your knees. Lots of different ways you can do it. You can also start on a countertop, which is a great way to ease into the push-ups. Okay, next we're going to use a band to get a little resistance for some squats. So what I'm going to have you do, I have a little bit longer band here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on it. So stand about in the middle, and then I'm going to bring this up to my shoulders so that I've got the resistance pulling me downwards, but you have to resist up as well. So we're going to press up. So remember, when you do a squat, you want to stick your hips back and keep those knees over your ankles as much as you can. Then keep your chest up tall. You want to keep looking across the room. None of this. So we're going to press up. If your band isn't long enough for this, you can stand on it with one foot. That gives you a little bit more length. And if you really just don't have, you can hold on to a dumbbell or just do body weight squats. It's still a really great exercise without any extra resistance. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Squeezing those glutes as you stand up. If you have knee pain with this, hold on to like a countertop in front of you like this. You can hold on to a counter so you can really sit back and relieve the pressure through your knees. Let's do 2 more. And 10. Good. All right. Now we're going to lower down to the floor again. And we're going to do a triceps exercise. So this is similar to the one we did last week for your lats, with the weight overhead. And we're going to hold it on the ends of your dumbbells. This time, the only joint that moves is your elbows. So remember last week we did this one where you had your straight arms, or the last time. This time you're just bending your elbows. So flatten your back to the floor. Slowly, these are called skull crushers for a reason. You don't want to go fast. So that's why I said maybe grab a little bit lightweight. I'd rather have you start too light and work up a little bit if you need to. I'm keeping my elbows parallel. You don't want them out here. You want them in nice and tight, shoulders down away from your ears. Press up. Slowly lower that down and then slowly press it up. I'm also flattening my back to the mat here, engaging my core a little bit, protecting my back. This is a really good isolation exercise for those triceps, those muscles in the backs of your arm. All right, great. Okay, now we're going to stay down here and do some bicycle legs. So on your side, this is a really good hip stabilizer. So if you've ever done clamshells where you lie down on your side, sometimes I like to give people a pillow in my gym so you can keep everything in line here so that you're not off to the side like this and it's really uncomfortable. Try to get a pillow or something so you can keep your spine, your cervical spine in line with the rest of everything. So you're going to bring your feet up towards your hips, just like you're going to do clamshells, but I'm going to have you straighten this one off to the side. Bicycle it forward and then hold it straight down like you're going to stand on it just for a count of 1 or 2. Bicycle it forward. Now, I want your hips stacked. So your hips are stacked on top of each other and your shoulders are stacked on top of each other. So you're not back here, really isolating these glutes here. Nice and slowly both. You want to get a little bit of a hold at the bottom. So you're holding that up, really engaging those glutes. And 10. Good. All right, now we're going to switch sides. This is a tired puppy. You're not getting the full effect of the puppy during these videos. Okay. Nice in line. Everything's in line here. My shoulders are stacked. My hips are stacked. Oh no. All right, let's see. Make sure I'm still going here. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to bicycle forward and then straight down. So I've got a straight line all the way down my body. Bicycle, straight down. My hips are staying stacked. My shoulders are stacked. One way you can do it too is if this arm is in front here, it can kind of help hold you nice and straight here, nice and strong. Really isolating these glutes here. And then we're just straight down here. We're not taking it way back here because then you're engaging your hamstring more, and I'm really focusing on those glutes with this one. Just nice and straight. Plus, if you start to bring that leg behind you, then you start to kind of roll out, and we want to keep everything nice and tight here. One more, and 10. Okay, good. Now, I've got one more on the floor. So last time we were up and down from the floor to standing. This time we're going to stay on the floor. I'm going to show you, you can do bridges without the ball, but I'm going to, so without, if you don't have a fit ball, what you want to do is, so we're going to be in that position where your feet are flat on the floor, your back is flat, and then you think about flattening your back to the floor, and then press your hips up. So you're squeezing those glutes. You're not worried about pressing them up as high as you can because then you can put a little pressure on your back. Do those if you don't have a ball. If you do have a ball and you want to try something a little differently, put your calves and the lower part of your legs up on the ball. The closer you have it into you, the easier this will be. The further you walk that ball out, the harder this will be. So start, kind of in the middle, a little bit closer to you before you're ready to walk it out, especially if you've never done this before. Everything is the same. Flatten your back to the floor, squeeze those glutes, press your hips up, Hold for a count of 5, and then come back down. Slowly, both directions. So press that back to the floor. Breathe as you're holding it, and come back down. Each time I want you to think about pressing your back into the floor before you come up, and then squeeze those glutes. I'm in a straight line here, but even if you're just a little bit here, it's okay. You're just really squeezing those glutes as a hamstring and glute exercise. You can put your hands here beside your hips to stabilize a little bit. If you find you're wobbling all over the place, bring that ball in a little closer so that you have a little bit more control. Press your back. If this hurts your back, forget about the ball. Just go back to regular floor bridges. And don't forget, keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Remember, you're not going past, you don't want to be way up here. You're just almost straight, not quite. We're going to do one more. Press that back into the floor. Pull up, breathe. All right, good. Now, if you happen to get any hamstring cramps during that, you can stop, pull that leg up like this, get a good stretch in that hamstring, release. You do that with both legs. When you're done with this one, it's a really, especially if you are using the ball, it gets your hamstrings a little bit more being in that straight leg position. Okay, last one, we're going to stand up. And see if I can get my screen to return here. We're going to do slow marches with a kick. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Ooh, there's my hand. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can do this without bothering Blue here. Okay, so I just want you to march up and slow kick out. Now, this is a really big balance exercise, so do it next to something sturdy so you can hang on if you need to. But the slower you go, the harder it is, right? So really challenge that balance, challenge that hip stabilization. We're getting some hip flexor and then some quad with that kick. Try to control it. And then if you feel like you're doing this, slow it down. I want you to really slow, and then also hang on to something if you need to, so you can really get the muscle activation that we're looking for here. The other way you can do this, if this is just way too much, is to do it seated. Lift up your leg, kick, lift up, kick. So you can get the same muscle activation without quite so much, balance and all of that, if you need a little bit less. Slowly kick up, or slowly march up, and then a slow kick. Everything here is controlled. Each movement is separate. Up, kick, back, down. Up, kick, back, down. If this is just way too much, like I said, hang on to something that will help immensely. Blue might be having a little running dream there. He blends in with the carpet pretty good, doesn't he? And Tubby's over here behind the treadmill in his spot. It's amazing I'm not covered in gold. All right, 2 more each side. Up, kick, back, down, up, kick, back, down. All right, great. All right, so just like all of these other exercises, just like all of my other videos, press pause, go do some cardio, get your heart rate back up, come back, let's do another set through. Do that 2 or 3 times through total. If you don't have the time for that, just do this through once. At least do it through once, because keeping moving is so important for so many reasons. It keeps our immunity up, it keeps our spirits up, it gives us something to do, it breaks up the day. Find a spot in your house and just keep moving, keep doing this. Okay, let me know if you have any suggestions or if you need any alterations or anything that needs a little bit of a change to make it work for you. You can always message me, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.